Hey everyone, it's Jem. Today I'm going to be filming my March completed pages video, and I've worked from quite an array of books. As you can see, I've done pages from Hannah Lynn, Enchanted Faces, Disney, Art Deco. I've never had a Disney book before, or a Disney colouring book before, so that's my first time with that and I'm enjoying it. I've done a page from Fantasy Fairy Portraits Grayscale version. I've done a picture from Maui Mermaids by Hannah Lynn. Fairy Touch of Magic by Clara Markova. Romantic Country 1, the first tale by Eerie, and one page out of Eerie's new book, The World Fairy Tale Story, I'm pretty sure it translates to. So the first book that I worked from this month was Enchanted Faces by Hannah Lynn, and I done this one. Every now and then I like to revert back to the orange, purple and pink colour combo. It's my absolute favourite combination in the entire world. There's just something about pink, purple and orange together that I just think so beautiful, and I really love using it. So sometimes I do like to go back to the same palette. But yeah, this is one of the pictures that I looked at and I thought, yes, I'm going to do that colour palette. And I'm really happy with how she turned out. I used all Prismacolor for her hair. I used the shade Dahlia Purple for the purple and Process Red for the pink parts, and I just blended them both together with white. I used a mixture of alcohol markers and Prismacolor for her skin tone. I used an orange Posca to outline these little doodads here. I used Crayola Super Tips around the border, which I really didn't get on with. They didn't get on with me. I really don't like water-based markers, but yeah, I had a set of them, so I thought I'll just use them for something that I don't really mind if it gets messed up. And it kind of did. It started pilling on these little bits here, but that's okay. I went over her eyebrows and made them a little bit fluffier, and her eyelashes, I gave her some bottom lashes with a bit of black polychromos and some Papermate Flare in black as well. I've done a page from Maui Mermaid, which is another book by Hannah Lynn. I've been loving Hannah Lynn recently. I can't get enough. I find with Hannah Lynn books, you've got to put in a little bit more work because there's no grayscale. So you've got to do some of the shading yourself, which I find really fun and relaxing. But at the same time, with books like this, sometimes I just want to completely chill. So you know how Jade Summer's got her books and she's brought out grayscale versions? I would love to see Hannah Lynn do the same. I done this one. I love doing this one. This one was so relaxing. I was watching RuPaul's Drag Race the whole time. I was feeling that colourful fantasy, honey.
It's a lot of fantasies. And when I feel the fantasy, it is my reality.
And I was just loving it. I used Neocolor 2s for the background. I used black acrylic around the border. Black Posca to fill in the palm trees. I used Prismacolor for her skin and for the green colour on her tail. I used alcohol marker as a base for the sand and this little crab and these little bits and bobs. I used alcohol markers for the water as well, and then I just went over that with some white Posca. I went around her tail with the green Pentel Hybrid Dual Metallic. I used a light yellow Posca for the beads in her hair, a little bit of yellow in her eye and the polka dots on her bikini and her little necklace. And then I just went over the clouds with the Arteza gel pens, and I absolutely loved doing this one. Done a page from Romantic Country, the first tale, and I've done this one. I had a little bit of trouble with this page peeling off because I used all water, and on the other page I'd done a page quite a while back and I used all water for that page as well. I think it's damaged the paper and I have like a chunk missing here. My pencil kept going through on here. Ooh. And some of it I had to like stick back into place. I used Winsor & Newton watercolour on the sky, and that actually went on quite smoothly. Like, it laid down really nicely, surprisingly. I used Neocolor 2s with a little bit of white gouache mixed in for the walls of the shops. And for all the bright colours, I used Prismas. And my Carmine Pink is like that small. She's so tiny. But my partner was so sweet. I was devastated. I was like, oh my gosh. Look, it won't even fit into, you know, them little, oh, what are they called? Hold on, let me see if I can find one. Oh, I've got one over here. You know these little pencil extenders? Mine didn't even fit into that. It was so small. But my partner, she does art as well. And she gave me her pretty much full-size Carmine Pink. So yay, I got a replacement. I thought that was really sweet of her. So yeah, not overly happy with how this one turned out with all the damages to the page, but I really enjoyed doing it. I enjoyed doing the bits with the Prisma and the Derwent Inktense. And I use Derwent Inktense for these as well, for all the grey, mixed with some white watercolour pencil. Yeah, so I've done this one. And I've done a page out of Fairy Touch of Magic, which is no surprise. Oh, this book, I'm obsessed with this book. I love it so much. It's my only Clara Markova. It'll probably be the only Clara Markova book I ever have. So I'm going to try and finish this book. And I've done this one. I used Winsor & Newton Cotman watercolour for the base of the mushroom. And I went over with a little bit of Inktense in certain places. I used a baby pink Posca for the little details on the tails and the little flowers. Oh, I've missed a part there. Have I? I think so. Maybe not. And the little bits on the mushrooms, I mixed some near colours for those. I was really happy with how this like little peach turned out. I don't know if it's like a peach or a nectarine. I think it's cute. I surprised myself with that one. Everything else I've done with Inktense pencils. And yeah, this one was quite relaxing. I didn't really have to think about the colour palette too much. So yeah, I enjoyed doing this one. I realised that I forgot to tell you guys in the beginning that I'd done a page from Magical Jungle. This page I done. It's one of my first pages I done in here. And it was this page. The reason I've done this page, how I done it, has quite a personal story behind it. Yeah. This is probably my favourite page I've ever done out of any book, ever. Just because what it meant to me doing this page. Do you guys ever have pages like that, where you're feeling a certain way and you want to put it on a page? This was very much that for me. I used Derwent Inktense for the background, just in black and white, and then I mixed them together to create the grey. I went over the silhouette of the elephant with black Posca, and then I filled it in with some black acrylic. I done the whole background of the bottle with Neocolour 2s. No, with Derwent Inktense. Yeah, I did the whole background of the bottle with Derwent Inktense. Derwent Inktense on everything. The whole thing was done in Derwent Inktense, other than the little elephant, the background, and I used some light yellow Posca for these. And if you guys like using Posca for highlights and things like that, I highly suggest getting some coloured ones if you haven't got any. They work a lot nicer than just the plain white ones. And they're so pretty, I think, to add some details. They come in a pastel pack, and those are really lovely. I went over the leaves on this side, which I prefer, with a little bit of with a little bit of, what's this shade called? This green Posca. It is called Apple Green. I bought this one from eBay separately. But yeah, I went over these little leaves with Apple Green and then went back over with my Derwent Inktense, and I really like the effect that it gives. Like, it doesn't look like I've coloured it in, it looks like it's been drawn. But yeah, I should have done this on these, but I forgot to. I'm not going to change it now. So yeah, I love this one. This one is super special to me. I got a new book this month, and it is, oh, sorry for the glare, and it is Colour and Cheeks, or Colour and Chicks, I'm not too sure how to pronounce that, Fantasy Fairy Portraits, Grayscale. And this book is lovely. I've done 2 from this book this month. The first page that I've done was this one. There's a bit of a story behind this one. There's a TV show on Netflix called Riverdale, and there's this really cool badass character called Cheryl Blossom, and she is a really fiery redhead, and her family owns a maple business. And when I was looking through this book, I saw this page and I was like, oh my gosh, that literally looks exactly like Cheryl from Riverdale. The facial structure, her lips, everything. And Cheryl's family in the show owns a maple syrup factory. So I partnered up with my absolutely amazing, talented fiance to do this picture. I cannot draw I can add colour, okay, but I cannot draw. So I asked my incredible, amazing, talented fiance to draw me some maple syrup. And she said, oh, I can draw some maple leaves for the background as well. So I was like, yes, go on then do that. And then I could colour it. So she drew all the drips of maple syrup all around. This was just plain, a plain border. So was the background. So she drew the maple leaves and I coloured it all in. And I'm so happy with how it turned out. I think it looks really unique. And this one's really special to me as well, obviously, because we worked together on it. I used Prismacolor for her hair, Prismacolor for her skin, alcohol markers for her dress, alcohol markers for the wings, the background. And one thing I will say about this paper, it takes watercolour really nicely. It's super thin. To feel, it kind of feels like Hannah Lynn's paper. Hannah Lynn books, they take alcohol markers really, really nicely. But this book, for some reason, doesn't take alcohol markers well at all. Like, if you have a look here, I really, really, really struggled to lay down the alcohol marker. And what has happened there? That is literally one coat of alcohol marker. And it was just so patchy. Even now, it's really sticky. And I don't know why. It's got a really, really weird sticky texture, like a jelly texture. And it kept not drying, which is really, really weird for alcohol markers. They dry pretty much instantly. So yeah, I don't know what's going on with this paper, but it's a little bit funky. Yeah, I'd stick to pencils or watercolour with this paper, definitely. Which is actually really nice because watercolour's my main medium. I love to use Inktense. So that's good that I've got a book like this that I can use Inktense in. I've done all the black around the maple syrup drips with acrylic, and I used Prismacolor for the colour of the maple. And I used a gold gel pen to go around her wings. And I'm extra, so I gave her lots of pretty fluffy eyelashes. I love doing this one. And I've done another one in here as well this month. And I've done this one. And I'll finish this today. And just posted it. I used black acrylic for the background. I used dough and Inktense on our coat, which worked really, really nicely. I went over with some, is it Purple Dahlia Prismacolor for the border around her coat. I used alcohol marker and Prismacolor for her hair, and dough and Inktense for her hair as well. I used hybrid dual metallic for the sparkly part on her little glasses and the owl's monocle in the shade blue and metallic green. I used Neocolor 2 completely for the background, and I used some black Papermate Flare to draw these little dots. And I gave her some little earrings that weren't there before. And I was so happy to say I was able to do a page out of this book. And this is Erie's new book, The World Fairy Tale Story. Oh, I love this book. I got this book for my birthday, and I was able to do the Wizard of Oz page. And I got gifted this absolutely amazing book by my absolutely amazing, generous brother, Kurt. He's my brother-in-law, but he's like my best friend as well. He's my brother. So he and my fiance, both of them, they're phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal artists. He's tatted head to toe. He's covered it in incredible art. So he loves to gift me colouring books and art supplies. He doesn't do as much art anymore, so he was the one that really, really got me into using alcohol markers and Prismacolors. I'd never tried alcohol markers or Prismacolors, but he gave me a 72 set, which I'd never used before. And I was like, oh my God, these are amazing. I love them. He was like, I have them. I'm like, no, I can't take these. And he was like, Jem, just take them. Like, if you'll use them, take them. So it's so cool being close to artists, because they can give you like tips and tricks and things. And I'll keep telling them that they both should start their own YouTube channel. But yeah, enough rambling. The page that I done was this one, and it's from, well, obviously it's from The Wizard of Oz. It's my absolute favourite classic movie ever. I love the Tin Man. I went over him with Uni Silver, not the metallic one, not the glitter one. Oh, let me find it, one sec. I use this one, the Uniball. Oh yeah, it's the Uniball Signo in metallic silver. And I use the exact same one, but in gold, to go over the door and parts of the windows. And then I use the Pentel Hybrid Dual Metallic in gold. This is the best gold ever to do the glittery parts on the door. I coloured her dress with dough and Inktense, and I went over it with some white Caran d'Ache Museum Aquarelle just to blend it and make it a little bit more pastel. I did the same with the Tin Man as well. I coloured him in with dough and Inktense in neutral grey, and then went over certain parts with the white Museum Aquarelle. And I did the entire Emerald City with just one shade of dough and Inktense in vivid green, and then for parts I added some white gouache to make every other one a lighter shade of green. And then I went around the borders with green Posca, and the dots I done with gel pen and different shades of green Posca pen. I done the grass with Neocolor 2. I mixed two colours together to get the shade of green for the grass that I wanted. I used dough and Inktense on everyone, on everything, pretty much. Yeah, so if it doesn't shine and it's not the grass, it's dough and Inktense. So yeah, those are the pages that I've done this month. I hope everyone... Oh, I've got a bonus actually. I got this book and it's like £4 on Amazon, which is really, really good. And I started this one from Peter Pan. But I'll show you next week when it's finished. So yeah, those are my completed pages for the month of March 2021. I hope everybody's enjoyed watching. If you'd like to, leave a comment downstairs. Let me know which one was your favourite. Let me know your favourite Disney movie down below. Mine is Peter Pan or 101 Dalmatians, the human version. Yeah, let me know downstairs, what is your favourite Disney movie? I hope you're all doing well and everyone's been getting their vaccines. The world is becoming safer. I'm hoping people's depressions are lifted. Mine's definitely lifting a little bit. And yeah, I'll see you guys soon. Take care. Oh, like, subscribe and all that jazz. Bye.